Take you to Islamabad, where Pakistan and German foreign ministers are holding a press conference.
And because of elections, for you to come to the region, to Pakistan, see things firsthand. Getting information through telegrams is one thing. Coming and meeting people and seeing things for yourself is totally different. And I am positive and I am confident, the assessment that you will make after having met, engaged with your staff here, with your embassy here, with your mission here, and with the political and the military leadership of Pakistan, with other regional players that you have visited, will give you a very good holistic view of what the challenges are, what the concerns are, what the opportunities are, and what needs to be done in the days ahead. How the international community should act. What are the advantages of remaining engaged? What would be the consequences of abandonment? What did we learn from the past? What should be done differently this time as opposed to the 90s? This is what needs closer consultation and discussions. I have shared our perspective. I'll be highly appreciative if the Foreign Minister and other colleagues coming in the next few days will be able to share Pakistan's perspective with their colleagues when they meet informally, in the European Union. Foreign Minister, before I conclude, I want to share with you that in my view, and I'm speaking as a politician, as a legislator, as a person who is on the ground, connected with the people, and not just an academic. This is a pivotal moment in Afghanistan's history. The international community must remain engaged. Humanitarian assistance must flow. Do not let the economic collapse in Afghanistan take place. Vacuum is in nobody's interest. Instability is in nobody's interest. Exodus of refugees cannot be stopped within the region. Look at the larger picture, the holistic picture, and when you do, I am sure you will make the right decisions, and you will be able to convince your colleagues, and Germany is a very, very important country. You have a very important international presence. Your voice matters. You're counted. So when you speak, you will be heard. So please do that. I want to thank you for visiting us. I look forward to continuing working with you and deepening our bilateral relations further. Thank you. Over to you.
Ja, vielen Dank, lieber Herr Kollege. Vielen Dank dafür, dass wir uns in einem sehr überschaubaren Zeitraum jetzt schon das dritte Mal treffen. Und da sind unsere Telefonate, die wir in der Zwischenzeit geführt haben, gar nicht mitgezählt. Das zeigt, dass wir wirklich uns sehr, sehr eng abstimmen.
Well, you were watching Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mehmood Qureshi along with German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas, who is on a two-day official visit to Pakistan. And according to the Foreign Office, Foreign Minister Shah Mehmood Qureshi had shared Pakistan's perspective on the evolving situation in Afghanistan and discussed ways of addressing its various dimensions.
And I'm also going to travel to Doha, Qatar, where there are contacts to the Taliban and discussions with the Taliban. And I hope we will receive the information and get the necessary information that we need in order to assess if the Taliban will honor their commitments and honor their pledges, but not only honoring them, but also will act on them.
Responding to your question, I will say that you are aware of the fact that we are hosting over 3 billion Afghan refugees for decades. We've been as hospitable as we could. and they have been secure here. They have had health facilities, education facilities in Pakistan, and they've also, been given opportunities for livelihood in Pakistan. Now, can we take more? The honest answer is that it's not a question of assistance only, economic assistance, and you said if the international community is willing to give more money, can you take them? It's not a question of money. We've been hosting them without money and without international assistance. The question is of capacity. Can we absorb more refugees is what needs to be understood. That is one. Secondly, despite the challenging situation in Afghanistan, security situation as well as the COVID situation, we've kept our borders open for pedestrian crossing. People who have documents have been allowed in. Trade has continued from Chaman and from Torkham. So we facilitated in every possible way to keep things calm and stable in Afghanistan. What we need to work on, and that is what we've discussed, is why not create an environment within Afghanistan that there is no need for refugees. The idea is to help and the international community to play its role, remain engaged, so that the need for exodus is not there. That should be our preference number one.
I believe there is a request from one of our German colleagues.
Daniel Brössler, Süddeutsche Zeitung. Herr Maas, ich würde gerne nochmal auf den endgültigen Abzug der Obertreppen zu sprechen kommen. Das ist ja eine Zäsur. Ich würde Sie bitten, hier nochmal ein grundsätzlicheres Fazit zu ziehen. Wie groß war hier insgesamt das Versagen des Westens, Deutschlands und auch von Ihnen persönlich? Und Ihr Gastgeber hat ja gesagt, es ist was anderes, die Entwicklung aus der Ferne zu sehen. Man muss sich das in der Region anschauen. Welche Lehren ziehen Sie aus dem, was Sie hier in der Region hören, und inwieweit unterscheidet sich vielleicht das von den Diskussionen in Berlin? And Minister Qureshi, if I may, there's a lot of criticism in Germany about not timely and not correct assessments of the developments of the recent developments in Afghanistan. Do you share this criticism, and what is your assessment on the reaction of the West so far now on the new situation?
And that is what Pakistan would urge. Stay engaged. Abandonment is not an option. It will have consequences. It has had consequences, and we've all suffered those consequences. Let us not repeat the mistakes of the past. So, can we trust the Taliban? Let's see. Let's see. They implement what they've said, and if they do, engage with them. And they also realize that they would require support. They would require humanitarian assistance. They would require economic assistance, financial assistance in the days ahead. And if they do require this, then they will have to respect human rights and the international norms and opinion.
Zu der Frage, die an mich gestellt wurde, für mich gibt es eine große Lehre aus dem Scheitern in Afghanistan. Das ist nämlich die Frage, für was sind militärische Interventionen geeignet und für was nicht. Ich glaube, dass eine militärische Intervention geeignet ist, um eine terroristische Bedrohung zu beenden, um einen Krieg zu beenden und um die Verletzung von Menschenrechten zu beenden. Ich glaube, nach den Abläufen in Afghanistan müssen wir uns in der westlichen Staatengemeinschaft, aber auch darüber hinaus, aber auch sehr intensiv die Frage stellen, ob militärische Interventionen geeignet sind, um die von uns bevorzugte Staatsform zu exportieren. Das ist ganz offensichtlich in Afghanistan gescheitert und ich glaube, das muss auch eine der Lehren sein, die wir in der internationalen Politik ziehen, dass über die Dinge Terrorismus bekämpfen, Frieden schaffen, die Verletzung von Menschenrechten beenden, militärische Interventionen nicht geeignet sind, um langfristig eine Staatsform zu exportieren. Und das wird sich auswirken müssen auf die Ziele von internationalen Einsätzen und auch auf die Dauer von internationalen Einsätzen.
For me, the important lesson I draw out of the failure in Afghanistan is the question, what are military interventions suited for? I believe they're suited to combat terrorist threats and wars and human rights violations. And in the West, in the international community at large, we have to ask ourselves if military interventions are suited and suitable to export form of government, which we prefer. This was not successful in Afghanistan, and this is why we have to draw the necessary lessons that beyond fighting terrorism, beyond ending human rights violations, beyond creating peace, military interventions are not suited to export a specific form of government. And we need to think about the purposes and also the duration of military interventions.
Can I have one question from that side, the lady at the back?
Mr. Shah Mehmood Qureshi, my question is from you. Since we are doing a lot for decades, but there is a not ending demand from the West of doing more from Pakistan. So can you share the data that how many Afghan, US, German and other national refugees or persons we evacuated from Afghanistan till date?
To date, I can't give you the exact figure, but I'll give you a rough figure. And the rough figure is that we have from the 15th of August till the 30th of August, we've evacuated safely over 10,000.
Maybe we can have a question from the gentleman in the fourth row. The fourth row.
Thank you, German Foreign Minister. This is Mateen Haider. I represent GTV Network. Latest report indicates that IS Khurasani group in Afghanistan has claimed the responsibility of the terror attacks at Kabul airport. This Khurasani group is completely funded, supported, trained by India. So Indian role in Afghanistan is totally destructive. That has been in the previous regime, and in the latest attack it has been proven. So you are visiting regional countries. Will you take up this matter with the regional leadership about this destructive and terror role of India in Afghanistan, and how you see Pakistan's positive contributions for peace and stability in Afghanistan? And to our Foreign Minister, Mr. Foreign Minister, you have been in touch, you have been to the regional countries. Why there is a delay in the formation of inclusive and broad-based government in Afghanistan? Because the more delay in the formation of inclusive government, more instability will be there. Thank you both Foreign Ministers.
You want to go first? Or should I? It's up to you.
Okay, I start. Wir sind mit Blick auf die letzten beiden Wochen, aber auch darüber hinaus für die enge Kooperation mit der pakistanischen Regierung und ich auch persönlich meinen pakistanischen Kollegen außerordentlich dankbar. Es ist für uns sehr wichtig gewesen, viele Informationen aus der unmittelbaren Nähe zu bekommen, auch wenn wir alle die Lage am Schluss so nicht haben kommen sehen, zumindest nicht in dieser Geschwindigkeit. Und international für die Länder der Region, auch für Indien, ist es jetzt sehr wichtig, dass wir uns gemeinsam eine Strategie erarbeiten für die weiteren Entwicklungen in Afghanistan. Und deshalb ist unser Ansatz, dafür zu sorgen, dass es internationale Einigkeit gibt. Die Tatsache, dass es eine Resolution des Sicherheitsrates zu Afghanistan gegeben hat, ist ein wichtiger und positiver Schritt in diese Richtung. Und ich hoffe, dass auch in der Region es möglich sein wird, dass wir uns hinter einem gemeinsamen Approach in all diesen Fragen versammeln können.
Against the backdrop, in light of the events of the past weeks, I'm very grateful, extremely grateful for the close cooperation between Germany and Pakistan. It is important to receive all that information from the immediate neighborhood of Afghanistan. We didn't see events coming, at least not at this in this speed. For the broader region, also for India, it is important to discuss and develop a common strategy as far as the developments in Afghanistan are concerned. We need international unity. We need to stand united. And the fact that the United Nations Security Council passed a resolution is an important step in that direction. And I hope that we will be able to continue to build upon this close cooperation in the region.
Responding to your question, I can say Shakespeare said, beware, beware. The Ides of March Macbeth, by being constantly saying to the international community, beware, beware, the role of spoilers within and beyond. That is important. The international objective is peace and stability. The international community has to discern between those who are standing on the side of peace and stability and have to differentiate between those who, for self-interest, are taking steps that will not be helpful in promoting peace and stability. They are well informed in our bilateral conversations. We've had discussions on that. I don't have to elaborate. You're smart enough to understand what I'm alluding to. The second part of your question was the delay in the formation of a government in Afghanistan. Obviously, you cannot have a vacuum there, and the statements that did come out from the Taliban, if I recall correctly, they were that they will announce the discussions are on. The talks are taking place, but they said they will announce the government once the withdrawal has been completed. Now, yesterday, the formal announcement came that the withdrawal is complete. I think in the next few days, you can expect the announcement of a government.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Foreign Ministers.
Well, you were watching the press conference by a German foreign minister along with Pakistan's foreign minister. And during his stay in Pakistan, he is to hold wide-ranging talks with high-level dignitaries, including the foreign minister, and exchange views on the latest developments in Afghanistan. And in respect to that, about the latest developments in Afghanistan,